Hello guys, thanks for joining this session. In this session, we are going to look into handling missing data technique. So why we are talking about this technique? Because in real world scenario, most of the data comes with missing values. So it is really very important to understand what actually the way by which you can handle the missing data whenever you will get the raw data with missing information, because we can't do any kind of data modeling without handling the missing data. So let's jump into the Jupyter notebook and where we will discuss about all these techniques in detail. So we are into the Jupyter notebook. Now let's start our exercises to understand the handling of missing data. But first of all, let's look into what we are going to cover in this session. So once we load the data into the data frame, then we will look into how to check the missing data. Once we understand that, then next we will move further and we will look into the example how to get the count of missing data by each column. After that, we will proceed further and we will look into various techniques to filling the missing data, where we will look into how to add missing data to the individual columns with the help of some technique called forward fill, backward fill. Once we understand that, then we will proceed further and we will look into how to interpolate the missing value so that missing data will align with the given data. And at last, we will discuss about when to drop the missing value, in what scenario you can drop the missing value so that it will not affect our analysis. So let's start by loading the data. So first you need to click cell and press B, and then you will get this cell. You can write import pandas as PD. Shift enter. Now once it is being loaded, select this one again and press B, and this time I am going to create a data frame over here with the help of read CSV. I am going to call it read CSV, and here I will pass the file name of the CSV, and that is resides in a data folder which I have already shown in one of my session, and the data is wine.csv. So this is again the information about the wine, and it contains all the required details for calculating the quality of the wine. So let's load it by pressing shift enter. So it is being loaded. Select this again, press B. Let's look into the data. So again, this is the same data which we have used earlier, but this time we are going to work with missing data. So now let's proceed further and do this exercise. So in the first exercise, we will check that missing data in columns. First, we will look into the alcohol column, and here I need to specify DF and the name of the column alcohol, and over here you need to use a method called isAnA. So let's press shift enter, and then you will find that it has given the information record wise. So over here you will see that at row number 27, 28, 29 and further also it has some record which is having null value. So that means the data is not available. But this way of checking isAnA is very drudgery task, and it is not giving us the complete information, and it is specific to this individual column. If I want to check and I want to use isAnA on the entire data frame, so how we can do that? We can do that as well. So over here, so select this cell, press B, and this time I am going to apply isAnA on entire data frame. Now do shift enter, then you will find that it has returned true and false. If you closely monitor it, then you will find that some value exists in alcohol column that is null. That's the reason you are getting true over here, and wherever null value is there, you will get the true value. But this is again, it is not very much helpful. So how we can identify how many value is having null value, so that it will give me the information column wise count. So that means how many value is null value in the column wine, as well as alcohol, as well as malic acid, and whichever phenols. So how do you identify this? So let's look into that. So let's select this cell, press B, and over here you need to specify df dot is null. There is another method, and over here you need to specify sum. Now do shift enter, then you will find that it will give us the information how many number of null value in alcohol column, it's 20, and how many in other column. For malic acid there is no null value, for ash there is no null value, wine also we don't have null value. But if you closely look into phenols, then you will find that it contains 16 null values. So this way you get the count of all the null value and how many null value exist within a column. So this is about getting the information about the null value. Now let's proceed further and we will look into how to fill this missing value and what are the techniques that is mainly used for filling the null value, so that we can use our pre-processed data for data modeling. Data modeling is another topic which comes after data analysis that I will cover in separate course. When I will come up with machine learning course, then I will discuss about how to do data modeling. So now let's proceed further and we will look into the third exercise where we can see that how to handle the missing data, how to fill the missing data. So basically we are going to look into two techniques. One is the forward fill and another one is the backward fill. So let's discuss about forward fill first. So here I will specify B, select M, and this is going to be the forward fill. So forward fill you can write over here, shift enter, and let's discuss about this, and it should be more, shift enter. Now press B again. So let's understand first what actually happens in the forward fill. So within forward fill method, what will happen, whatever the value which exists in the earlier column, so it should be replicated. For example, suppose if you are having this NaN over here in the 27th record, and above that it is having the number 26 record, it is containing 13.39, so it is being replicated. Once this value is coming over here, again this value is being replicated to 28, then 29, and so on so forth. So how do we can apply the forward fill? So let's look into that. So we should come over here, and over here you need to write df.fill_na, and within that you need to specify the method. So you need to write it over here, method equal to ffill, that is for forward fill. Now do shift enter, then you will find that at the 26th record we were having 13.39, and the same value is getting replicated for this one 27, 28. It contains the same value. One thing you should remember, that the value which you have applied it over here, it doesn't retain till the time if you will not apply over here in place equal to true. So if you want to verify this, I will show you. If you will come over here, currently if you will see the record number 26, it is coming with 13.39, 27 13.39, 28 13.39, as well as 29 13.39. But if you come here and write df and shift enter, then you will find that for record number 27 it is null, and for 28, 29 also. So if you want to apply this, so you need to make sure that you are placing over here in place equal to true. So let's do it, in place equal to true, shift enter. Now come here, do shift enter, then you will find that it is being applied. But I need to show you the demo, so I need to reload it again so that I can show you the backward fill also. So let me reload it, because we have chosen in place equal to true, so it has filled all the null value with the forward fill. So now let's proceed further and we will discuss about backward fill. So select this cell, press B, and this time I will press M for markup. I am going to write backward fill, shift enter, again select this cell, press B, and this time I am going to use backward fill. It is similar to forward fill, but this time I am going to use B fill instead of F fill. So method equal to B fill. So this time what it will do, it will take the backward data and fill those value. So let's do it. So if you will do shift enter, then it will fill with the backward value, and this time you will find that it has some different value. Instead of 13.39, it has 13.90, which it is picking from the below rows. So now let's proceed further and we will discuss about the interpolate missing value. So first we will understand that why actually it is needed. When we are already having forward filled and backward fill method to handle the missing data, then why do we need another technique to handle it? So to answer this question, I would tell that the problem with forward fill and the backward fill, if the number of missing data is high, then forward fill and backward fill make our data set very biased. If biased is new term for you, don't worry, you are going to understand this term in the upcoming session. For a time being, you just consider that inclination towards certain set of information. That means if we are closely look over here, we are repeating 13.90 for most of the record over here, even though it is not the case. So that means we will not get very good output from the data modeling. So to resolve such kind of biasness, there is another method to fill the missing value, that is called interpolate missing value. So how we can achieve this? Let's look into that. You should select this cell and press B. Then we will get some input cell over here. So let's look into that, what actually we are having in the data frame first. So currently we are having over here the NaN value. Now let's do the interpolation. So how we can do that? We need to use the interpolate method. So press B over here. So it will give us an input cell. Now over here I will write df dot interpolate. So it will apply the linear interpolation in each of the column, and wherever missing value is there, so it will apply the linear interpolation. So now press shift enter over here, and now you will look into over here. Then you will find that at row 26 we have this value already. Now 27, 28 and 29. It contains different value, but it is based on the calculation of linear interpolation. So you must be asking that what actually the linear interpolation is. So I would suggest that you can visit the wiki over here. I would like to tell you that there is something called linear interpolation. On first link, if you will go there, you will find that it is based upon the linear algebra. So whatever the calculation which happen, which is based upon this mathematics. So I would recommend that you can visit this page and just look into this mathematical calculation. It has given very good information. You can see it over here. So it has given like linear interpolation as approximation. So all these formula is being given over here, and this pandas, if you will look at over here, and the maths which is being applied over here, which apply the same formula. So this interpolate function is basically under the hood applying the same mathematics. So you can go through it. So this is about linear interpolate method. So now there is other method also available to calculate the missing value with the help of interpolation, and that interpolation method is called pchip. If you write method equal to pchip, shift enter, then you will find that here instead of linear method it has applied the pchip method for interpolation, for filling the missing value with the help of interpolation, and you will see that it has updated the null value. And same is the case with phenols, that nan value is also being filled with interpolated data with pchip method. So now let's proceed further and let's discuss about when to drop missing value. So first let's delete this one. So there is another way by which you can handle the missing data by dropping that particular row from your analysis. So how do you perform that? You need to identify that which actually row is having a single null value. For example, in our case, if we will load this, then you will find it over here. We are having null value for row number 27, 28 and 29. And in this record, we have two null value. And wherever I find a single null value, that record we will not consider for data analysis. So what you need to do, you need to come here and directly tell that df dot drop NA. So let's run it. So if you will run it, then you will find that it will drop all the records after 14. Why it is so? If you will look it over here, then you will find that after 14, from 15 onwards, there is no value for this column phenols, and it is repeated till 29, and after that 29 some record is also not available. Some value for this particular column alcohol is not available. So that's the reason what it did, it has removed, or say it has dropped that particular record. That's the reason you will find that 33 record is not considered for analysis, as one of the column is containing null value. So it has dropped that particular record. So this is the another way by which you can handle the missing value, by dropping the record which contains the null. But this is not the ideal solution to handle the missing data. It should only be applied whenever if your data contains single record missing value, then only you can drop it from the raw data. If you ask me, then it is always recommended to go with the interpolation technique, as interpolation helps us to remove the biasness from the data. So on this note, I am stopping over here. See you in the next session. Till then, bye bye, take care.